The Curse of Oak Island Season 12, Episode 19 Recap. More clues, few answers in Shaft 6. In Season 12, Episode 19 of The Curse of Oak Island, the team continues its pursuit of the island's centuries-old treasure. Despite setbacks, the Lagina brothers and their crew continue to investigate multiple dig sites, hoping to uncover definitive evidence of treasure buried beneath Oak Island. The hit-and-miss episode highlights promising discoveries and frustrating dead ends. The team's efforts centered on the Money Pit area, the swamp, and Lot 5, each offering tantalizing clues that kept the mystery alive. The findings, from carbon-dated wood to French pottery, suggest historical activity that could be linked to the original treasure deposit. Yet, once again, the island seems determined to keep its secrets hidden. Shaft 6 produces wood and no treasure. The team uncovered wooden beams in the north corner of Shaft 6 near the Money Pit that hinted at a possible man-made tunnel. An earlier failed excavation left behind a debris field, but new hope emerged from an adjacent borehole known as RP2. There they recovered an iron strap believed to have once secured a treasure chest, hand-cut timber, and a barrel stake nearly 100 feet deep. These items supported theories that the treasure was stored in barrels along with chests. However, despite these promising finds, RP2 ultimately ended without revealing the treasure. Refusing to give up, the team began planning another caisson shaft, remaining confident they were close to solving the Money Pit mystery. Artifacts and discoveries across Oak Island. In the island's infamous swamp area, the team continued efforts to uncover the cobblestone path long believed to be part of a man-made structure. Cagdia Drayton discovered axe-cut wood and a log with man-made carvings, while additional stakes were found spaced precisely 14 feet apart, possibly indicating past construction or navigation methods. These discoveries bolster the theory that Fred Nolan was correct in believing extensive digging had occurred in the swamp centuries ago. On Lot 5, further historic artifacts emerged, including a nail thought to be a wharf pin from the 1700s and a shard of Ashbury ware ceramic. Meanwhile, a piece of pottery featuring a fleur-de-lis was retrieved from the RP2 shaft's wash plant, possibly hinting at French or Templar connections. In the war room, a carbon-14 test on a wooden dowel pulled from 60 feet deep in RP2 revealed a 44% chance it dates back to 1744, just a year before the Money Pit's recorded discovery. To close the episode, Rick convinces the team to continue searching for treasure in the Money Pit. As Season 11 of The Curse of Oak Island unfolds, Shaft 6 has become both a symbol of relentless hope and a fresh wellspring of torment for the Fellowship of the Dig. With every descent into the depths, Rick Lagina, Marty Lagina, and the team uncover more tantalizing clues, yet the grand prize remains as elusive as ever. The question that haunts every viewer and researcher alike is simple: how many shafts must be sunk before the island finally yields its centuries-old secrets? This time, all eyes are on Shaft 6. Echoes in the depths. The construction of Shaft 6 began with cautious optimism. After setbacks in earlier shafts due to flooding and unstable ground, the team refined their engineering approach. The caisson was reinforced, the excavation more carefully monitored, and drilling avoided sensitive flood tunnel intersections. The target? A precise depth near the original Money Pit's supposed treasure vault level, around 100 to 115 feet, based on old records and recent borehole data. By week 5 of excavation, excitement started brewing. First came wooden timbers, ancient ones, dark and water-worn, unlike the more modern supports found in earlier digs. Then, traces of coconut fiber, yet another sign pointing to the fabled filtration system tied to the booby-trapped flood tunnels. The team gathered around the wash table, brushing away clay and debris, hopeful that a breakthrough was at hand. "That's not just debris," murmured Charles Barkhouse, holding up a small fragment of leather. "It's stitched." The air thickened with suspense. Could it be from a satchel, a boot, a container holding scrolls or documents? With the leather came a piece of parchment-like material, almost imperceptible in the muck. Experts were called in to examine it, and, while the age wasn't immediately clear, preliminary analysis suggested it was not modern. Still, there was no treasure chest, no gold ingots, no Rosicrucian manuscript, just more whispers in the darkness. Rick's growing frustration. Rick Lagina has always been the heart and soul of the Oak Island quest. He's driven by the mystery, the stories, the pull of something grand and buried beneath centuries of soil. But even Rick, the ever-hopeful, seemed to hit a wall emotionally. Caught on camera, Rick stood at the edge of the operation, his eyes heavy and voice unusually low. "I don't know," he muttered. "Maybe we're just chasing ghosts now." His words hung in the air, drawing a long, uncomfortable silence from the crew. Marty, always the pragmatic counterbalance to Rick's dreamer nature, tried to reassure his brother. "Every clue is a step forward. We're building a map, piece by piece." But even Marty couldn't deny the frustration setting in. The team had expected Shaft 6 to deliver more than fragments and fiber. They were hoping for the chamber itself, the infamous vault supposedly guarded by complex flooding systems, wooden platforms, and a curse that claims one more life must be lost before the treasure can be found. And yet, Shaft 6 was yielding only fragments of stories, not the treasure itself. Clues that confuse. As analysis came in, the clues grew stranger. The leather sample, once cleaned, revealed faint markings, not quite writing, but perhaps symbols or seals worn by time. The fragment of parchment was determined to be made of sheepskin, hinting at something ancient, possibly medieval. Some even speculated it could be tied to early Freemasonic documents or Spanish navigational records. Even more confusing was a lump of iron that appeared to be a broken piece of chain or a locking mechanism. The metallurgy was inconsistent with 19th century mining equipment. It bore characteristics that suggested pre-1700s European forge work. "Another piece of the puzzle," said Gary Drayton, holding the artifact up to the light. But which puzzle, though? That's the real question. In true Oak Island fashion, each new find seemed to raise more questions than it answered. The Templar theory resurfaces. Fueling the fire of speculation, a familiar theory began to gain traction once again: the Knights Templar. With the parchment, leather, and chain fragment surfacing in Shaft 6, theorists and researchers like Doug Crowell and Paul Troutman revisited the idea that Oak Island's original depositors were not pirates or rogue Spaniards, but rather members of the mysterious medieval order. Some believe the Templars escaped persecution in Europe by sailing to the New World, possibly with sacred relics, gold, or ancient scrolls in tow. The cross symbols we've seen, the lead found in prior seasons, and now these materials, it can't be coincidence, Doug argued in a team meeting. This shaft may have intersected a deposit site used by men with very advanced secret knowledge. Skeptics on the team, like geologist Terry Matheson, were quick to push back, emphasizing the need for scientific caution. Still, the romance of the theory was undeniable, and with each ambiguous artifact, the Templar legend grew harder to ignore. The curse continues as Shaft 6 dragged on without the ultimate reveal. Talk of the Oak Island curse reemerged. Over the centuries, the legend has claimed that 7 must die before the treasure is found. So far, 6 lives have been lost. Though the team approaches their work with modern safety equipment and caution, the eerie lore still lingers. Equipment fails inexplicably. Ground collapses without warning, and some crew members report strange noises or sensations underground. "It's like the island fights back when you get close," said Jack Begley one evening, looking over the swamp in the moonlight. "It wants to keep its secrets." What comes next? As the season nears its final stretch, the future of Shaft 6 remains uncertain. The team faces a difficult decision: continue deeper, risking more time and money, or redirect efforts to another promising borehole nearby, perhaps one where seismic imaging suggests the void. Meanwhile, fans and theorists continue to analyze every frame of footage, dissecting clues and drawing connections. Could the treasure lie just a few feet beyond Shaft 6's reach, or has the island once again played its cruelest trick, dangling a glimmer of hope only to snatch it away? One thing is certain: the mystery is far from over. Rick Lagina may be weary, but he hasn't given up. Not yet. "There's something down there," he says in the final moments of the episode, voice steadier than before. "And I still believe we're meant to find it."